In top form at the right time of the year has changed the perception of one squad, while another's trying to live up to the hype. USL Championship action brought to you by Wheels gives us Miami FC against Indy 11. Greetings, everyone, with Ricky Lopez-Espin. I'm David Gascon. Thanks for joining us tonight. Ricky, the home team, Miami FC, they're climbing themselves out of a deep hole and now on the brink of a playoff spot.
And the team that's sitting in that last playoff spot, Indy 11, a team that's very talented, a team that's in a role as well. 4-0 win versus Birmingham Legion. Miami FC 4-0 win against El Paso. So the first 10 to 15 minutes is going to be really interesting. But for Miami FC, you win and you end the night in the playoffs.
Well, for Miami FC, they've won 3 straight. They've also gotten results in their last 5, but they're getting contributions across the board, aren't they?
And it's a conversation that we had with Lewis Neal saying, look, we just give them more freedom. We're getting numbers in around that 18-yard box, but it's been very interesting, David, because they're scoring all different types of goals, whether it's a ball behind the back line, whether it's a combination play, and the team is confident, and they are going to be massive here at home. And again, a brilliant opportunity to create space and to get themselves into the playoff picture.
Indy 11, as you mentioned, 8th in the Eastern Conference, but you feel like given the talent they have, they should be a lot higher, right?
I mean, I just think you look at the talent that is at Mark Lowry's disposal, whether it's Guinzotti, whether it's Martinez on the front line, Quinn and Lindley pulling the strings, and they can score every type of goal in the book. But Sebastian Guinzotti, you see 3 goals in his last 4 games. He needs to be a massive focal point, asking questions and occupying the 2 center backs for Miami FC, and he needs to be huge in terms of the service that he gets here today.
It's the first encounter between these 2 squads. They'll see each other in 3 weeks. Coming up on the other side, we'll get you the starting 11 and first touch. It's Indy 11, Miami FC coming up next.
No one was born a hero. It's an everyday journey. There are no shortcuts, no days off, no perfect scenarios. Things won't always go the way you expect. But overcoming challenges is part of the game too. Your time is now. When passion runs through you, become your own hero.
This broadcast is brought to you by FPL. Learn how FPL is investing in Florida's future at FPL.com/value. Volkswagen dealers of South Florida. Check out local offers at VWFlorida.com today. And Wheels, the future of micro-mobility is here. On a warm Saturday night in South Florida, with Ricky Lopez-Espin, I'm David Gascon. Ricky, the honors tonight.
If it works, don't change it for Lewis Neal. You have Salazar. He's going to play centrally on that front line. You have Joaquin Rivas and Sorto underneath them. But it all comes down to Akinyote and Cabral. What does that relationship look like, and how quickly can they dictate tempo? And then you have Ryan Telfer on the left-hand side. He's going to join the attack as he sees fit. But don't be surprised if you see Segbers and Aiden Stanley join the attack and create overloads, especially on wide areas.
You spoke glowingly about Sebastian Guinzotti, but he's got some complementary pieces. Aiden Quinn's one of those guys.
And I do think you have to look at the fluidity here for Indy 11, whether it's Aiden Quinn, whether it's Cam Lindley playing right in front of that back 4. And then you're going to see Velasquez. He's going to come underneath the 2 strikers, Jack Blake as well. Players that want to get on the ball, players that want to create and play through line. So for Mark Lowry, possession's going to be the key here today.
Quinn leads the team with 8 goals in the season. Guinzotti right behind him with 6. You see Sebastian, right there. You're pretty familiar with a few guys on this team for Indy 11, but why do you feel like they're sub 500 on the season?
It's such an interesting question, because if you coming into the season, you saw the offseason that Marco and we brought in so much talent, players that know how to win in this league, just not clicking. But as you start to see them grow in the season in 2023, watch out as the playoffs become around the corner, because they have so many game changers, but how do they mesh together? That's going to be the question going forth.
Yeah, it makes you feel like they're the mirror image of Miami FC. Miami has not woken up until late, but the best part of the season that they're doing it in, almost like they're in survival / playoff mode right now. This contest is about to get underway. Temperatures 86 degrees for Rubiel Vasquez, the lead official tonight. It's comfortable. There's thoughts of rain, central South Florida, but all in all, it's a clean night of ball. And for Miami FC, winners of 3 in a row, they continue to pile on the points. And the most important thing is they've attacked the opposition early. They've scored 10 goals this season the first 15 minutes.
Again, I do think this first 10 to 15 minutes, like you just said, for Miami FC is going to be very interesting. If you're Luis Neal, how do you replicate that same first half against El Paso, because they were just so good moving the ball from left to right? And for Indy 11, how do you weather the storm and take Miami FC out of their game?
Yeah, and for Indy 11, you mentioned it, they played a couple nights ago as this contest is underway. Indy 11 moving from right to left on your screen, the red kits, red tops, the red bombs. Miami FC moving from left to right. Indy played a couple nights ago and they trashed Birmingham. 4-0 was the final score in that one. Eerily similar to what Miami FC did a week ago, where they hammered El Paso to the tune of 4-0. Salazar, who took a spill there. Not a lot of glare from the sun, so it won't disrupt the keepers on either end of the pitch. Adrian Dejas been in fine form in this recent run for Miami FC. Ofiemu getting another start here tonight. Aiden Stanley, he's appeared and started in every game so far this season for Miami FC, but here comes Indy 11 on the attack. Indy 11 this season, -5 goal differential. Miami FC -3 on the other side of the ledger. Udati peels this thing back.
That's interesting, David. You already see Indy 11 playing in a 3-back. So you have Jerome, Chapman, Page, and Budati as the 3-backs, and then you have Robledo and Douglas Martinez as the wing-backs. Creates a lot of players centrally with Cam Lindley, Aiden Quinn, Jack Blake, and Velasquez underneath Guanzati. So players that want to get on the ball, players that want to play between lines. So again, if you're Miami FC, your shape defensively needs to be spot on.
This is probably the first time in maybe a month that we've seen a team play with more possession, at least from the opening get-go here at FIU Stadium. This is really something you don't see, especially in our part of town. We're driving up and down the 95. This is slow rolling traffic, but here's Telfer on the giveaway. Ryan looking for Salazar, played through, but it was broken up at the last second by Cam Lindley. Good idea, another giveaway. Paco Craig, Gabriel Cabral. Cabral was making some heads turn last week, his first goal of the season, doing a 360 inside the 18 for his first netter of the year. Miami FC also having 3 players to the USL Championship Team of the Week, as the accolades continue to come, and for good reason. Winning at San Antonio 3 weeks ago might be the turning point in their season, where you figure you score a goal, you lose a player, you don't give up. Take a look at the injury report tonight, brought to you by your Volkswagen dealers of South Florida. Moises Hernandez, only guy missing in action, injured heel. We're hoping to get him back sometime soon. Ofiemu. Mark Segbers. Segbers nearly got hogtied. Great job of keeping his footing. Mark working hard, still wins it back. Great effort. Pete Robledo there. Segbers and Cabral have had a nice bit of passion and chemistry working together. You mentioned the top of the show, Ricky. It's interesting. You change head coaches and just a different voice, and then bang, same players, different results.
We had the ability to talk to Lewis Neal, and I asked him, what have you changed? Anthony Pulis goes out the door. You're the one calling the shots. So what's changed? Because he seems to be a bit more freedom, more confident in the attacking third, and that's exactly what he said. I didn't really change too much. I just wanted my players to have more freedom to express themselves when they get in around that 18-yard box. You've seen them to fruition, rewarding themselves, especially 4 goals last time against El Paso. They were just terrific, and that's a brilliant ball in from Paco Craig.
Rivas, Segbers on the cross, looking for Salazar, but nowhere in sight. Speaking of sight, Mother Nature's cleared away, and now you got a lot of sun facing Indy 11. You see Mark Segbers there. Mark, one of the 3 players added to the USL Championship Team of the Week, Segbers, Rivas, and Gabriel Cabral. Rivas scoring last week. Bolu on the intercept. Oh, Christian Sorto skipping around. He knew he missed a golden opportunity there. Troke was his first touch of the night. Tim getting his 4th start of the season. He's in net for Indy 11. Goals against and an even 1. Save percentage at 70. He's got 1 clean sheet to his resume with a 2-1 record. We'll see Adrian Zendejas in a little bit, I imagine. Budati. Bolu Akimyoti on the heels of Cam Lindley. Lindley didn't like it too much. See a real contrast in styles, Ricky. This is a slow, methodical approach for Indy 11 up the field. Do you think that's more to their style, or do you feel like, hey, we played 72 hours ago, let's be methodical with our approach?
I think it's nothing to be surprised about. You just looked at the players that are on the starting 11 for Indy 11, very comfortable on the ball, want to break lines in their passing, and that's what Lewis Neal also mentioned to us, saying, look, we know they want to get on the ball, so how do we defend spaces? How can we get them out of rhythm? And yes, you bring in those heavy legs because you play on Wednesday, so you want to move the ball, make the ball sweat a bit more, and open up gaps against the opposition. But so far, 7 minutes in, if you're Mark Lowry, you have to be very pleased with just the patience and the possession for your side. And I do think this game is going to be won or lost in the central part of this field. Who's going to dictate tempo? Who's going to impose their identity on the opposition? Whether it is Bolu Akimyoti and Gabriel Cabral, because they need to be very good on the ball especially, but also defensively and picking up the spaces, because you don't want to get caught too high, because this Indy 11 side can hurt you.
And giveaway here, Rivas surveying, looking to see where his reinforcements come. Chips it over to Salazar. Michael back to Rivas. Cabral, he's got open space, pulls the trigger from well out. That one misses by a good 5 feet. Much better than his attempt a week ago that Lewis Neal commented on to us.
If you can turn them over, this Indy 11 central part is not known for defensive prowess. Good little interchange, and then Gabriel Cabral just picks up his head. No one closes down the space. Doesn't miss by much, but he's a player that can create something out of nothing, especially from distance.
No bend on that shot from Cabral. First one of the night for Miami FC. And back comes Indy 11. Indy, they've scored 28 goals on the campaign. You gotta look out for Douglas Martinez. Martinez, a couple goals this season, 3 assists, making his 17th start of the season for Indy 11.
It's really interesting to see him play as an outside wingback for Mark Lowry. Talking about his career, whether it was at RSL, whether it was at Sacramento Republic, known for being a number 9, scoring goals, getting on the end of things. And now being asked to do a lot of the dirty side of the ball defensively, provide assists from wide areas.
First corner kick of the night for Indy 11. They're working on that far side. And a familiar face who was intended for that, Callum Chapman Page, who gets the start tonight for Indy 11. Got to imagine the emotions for not only him, but his opposing and former teammates are pretty high.
You always want to have those bragging rights, and Chapman Page, a player that knows extremely well what it is like into the Miami FC locker room. And as a competitor, you always want to get the best of your latter side. And that's something that Lewis Neal was quick to mention as well. So we can't get caught up in those emotions and the off-the-ball stuff. Let our play do the talking. So again, big challenge for whether it's Callum, but also Miami FC in terms of just managing their emotions.
Well, we know Callum quite well. One of his strengths is his size. So on set pieces, Miami FC will have to be a high alert, especially those corner kicks. Callum has played 5 games now, make it 6 tonight with his newly acquired team. He's on loan to Indy 11 as Bolo Akinyoti takes a spill. Christian Sordo. Christian's numbers on the year, 4 goals and 1 assist. Paco Craig with a full head of steam. Paco gave it up. See some good separation right now by Miami FC. An attempt by Aiden Stanley to put that thing inside the box, could not do it. And for a brief moment, Miami FC has picked up the intensity. Players going tumbling down. No whistle, no fouls. Officials say play on, fellas. Here's Robledo. Harrison out wide, gave it up, but a bad pass, or at least not on the same page with Budati. That's a dead giveaway there, unforced.
You need to be very careful if you're Miami FC. Yes, you want to be expansive and overcommit numbers in the attacking phase of the game. That leaves you extremely vulnerable going back the other way, especially with the players that Indy 11 have centrally. The ability to change a point of attack is going to be key for both sides.
Ofiemu up to Salazar, jostling with his former teammate, Chapman Page. To this one. It's been pretty good flurries on each side of the pitch. As we're into the 12th minute here, Miami FC coming off a 4-0 victory, Indy 11 coming off a 4-0 victory. Lindley flushes this one back. Aiden Quinn. Quinn, a product of San Diego, California. Team's leading striker on the season. He's had his fair share of highlight reel goals in 2023. Cabral fighting through. It's a dangerous concept there. This could result in a booking, and it is for Bolo Akinyoti.
I talked about the spacing. I talked about the discipline between Gabriel Cabral and Bolo Akinyoti. You just see 3 players around Gabriel Cabral. Second ball comes in, and that's a rash challenge from Bolo. You see the studs are exposed and catching Sebastian Quanzati on a yellow card 13 minutes in. Not what you want if you're Lewis Neal and Miami FC. So big challenge, discipline for Bolo and Akinyoti in terms of his positioning and what challenges he goes into.
Bolo is suffering from a broken nose about a month and a half ago. Had to wear a face mask for about 4 contests. And it looks like tonight, unless something bad happens, it is gone for good.
That's exactly what I'm talking about, David. If you're Gabriel Cabral and Bolo, as one steps a bit higher, the other one needs to provide that single coverage and screen that back four. That's where you want Sebastian Velasquez, if you're in the 11, to pick up the ball on the half turn between lines.
Chapman Page. Quinn. Opposite side of Douglas Martinez.
Good, that's perfect, Eunice, perfect. Perfect. Stay inside, Eunice, stay inside.
And you can see and even hear what Indy 11's trying to do with the spacing on the pitch, but just not a lot of real estate right now. And they're forced into retreat. Trope, put it over to Chapman Page. In matches like this, are you susceptible, like Miami FC could be, of being almost lulled to sleep and trying to win possession.
I just think it's a big emphasis on defensive structure. And when you get on the ball, you will need to take care of it, because the ball does not get tired. The opposition gets tired, that's for sure, especially 2 games in a matter of a couple of days for the visitors. So take care of the ball, move the ball extremely quick, and be patient as well. And when those gaps open up, that's when you can penetrate and ask questions of this back line of Indy 11.
Segbur Zofiemu. Don't know what the final total will be tonight, but there has been a ton of passing so far in this contest. Segbur Zofiemu, Paco Craig, and that man Adrian Zendejas. Adrian, 5-4-7 this year, goals against at 119. Save percentage at 750. He's got 4 clean sheets in the campaign. Here's Akinyoti with some space and some real estate. Looking for Salazar on the right-hand side. It was a poor pass, trying to maintain possession, but he went for a dance with Callan Chapman-Page and called for the foul. That was Segbur's, I beg your pardon. A little bit of a miss hit on that pass.
But how good of a ball is this from Gabriel Cabral? Yes, it's risky, and he needs to get it right. Just plays it around the corner and just takes out about 4 in the 11 players. You create an overload with Joaquin Rivas and Mark Segbers on this near side, and there's so much green grass to operate in. Just need to be a bit cleaner for Mark Segbers to play this ball into Michael Salazar, who's making a terrific run around the corner.
16th minute. No score yet. No real threatening shots. Hard to believe, but after tonight's contest for Miami FC, they have 10 games remaining in the regular season. On deck, Hartford Athletic. Hartford does play tonight. They're taking on Pittsburgh. Is here, played through nicely. Good stop on the goal line. It stays away. That could have resulted in an own goal for Miami FC. Somehow, some way, the brakes continue to fall for Miami. Unbelievable. Awfully close. So we'll take a look at it again. The top of the box, this one goes sailing over the net by Jack Blake. Take a look at that last sequence, Ricky.
You just break lines with this passing, Aiden Quinn. But look about the first touch from Jack Blake as he opens up his hips. We talked about having Luis Martinez on a wide area. He just gives you quality to put a ball in a dangerous area. Now that ball does not go across the goal line is beyond me. There's shouts for a handball from Sebastian Velasquez. But that ball from Douglas Martinez is just so good. Puts a lot of pressure on the back line for Miami FC. You ask any center back, what's a nightmare? Is when you're facing your own goal, emergency defending. That's what Douglas Martinez gives you. Quality through and through in the final third.
Yeah, that was awfully close to an own goal. I don't know how it stayed out, but it did look like it got a piece of Zendejas as well. This one bending away. Chapman-Page, he goes down. He's asking for a penalty as well, and he has a decent gripe about it too.
Ball to the back post from Aiden Quinn. We'll take a look at it here. There is a little bit of contact, but I think Alan Chapman-Page definitely tries to make the most of it. Would have been very harsh to point to the spot. Just showing what Indy 11 can do, whether it's on set pieces, but also whether it's in possession. All comes down to Aiden Quinn, Cam Lilly, and Jack Blake. Their spacing, the understanding, the ability to break lines with their passing.
Indy has had the more dangerous of the moments now. Douglas's cross. A corner kick looking for Callan Chapman-Page. You know, 2 months ago, and maybe in a different kit, I would have said Callan deserves a PK for that effort. Amazing what happens when you fast forward a few weeks. Daddy here into the attacking third. Tightrope walk, he gets taken down, and there's a difficult challenge there for Mark Segbers.
You need to be very careful of your Mark Segbers, when to leave your feet, especially inside your own 18-yard box. You need to get the challenge right. He does just that. But again, very risky decision to go down. You have Christian Sordo there to provide that secondary defender.
That's a big why. Why do that in that spot? Here's Lindley on service. A one-hopper into the box. That's a dangerous position. Chapman-Page looking for it. Segbers is there. He pushes it away. Major threats early on here for Indy 11, and Miami FC having to weather a storm.
All comes down to the ability just to whip in a very dangerous ball in, whether it's Aiden Quinn on the left foot, Cam Lindley on the right foot. Set pieces are great opportunities for Indy 11 to draw first blood.
Ever so close on numerous occasions. I know we're into the 21st minute, but Indy 11 a sizable advantage in possession time, 65-35. That's an eye-popping figure early on. Toe tap to Cabral. Gabriel trying to hold possession. He can't. Here's Lindley. Nearly a foul there. Robledo holding his ground. Budani gave it back up to Robledo. Man from Queens, New York. Only making his 9th start of the season. Indy 11 after this affair. We'll hit El Paso on the 19th. Ofiema with good body positioning there, and Zendejas quickly on top of it.
And also you have Douglas Martinez at a right wing back, and he just knows the movement of a number 9. That plays that relationship between him and Sebastian Guenzati. Gets a very dangerous ball in once again off the shoulder of Paco Craig. Ofiema does very well to stay like for like with the striker. I think it's a very smart move from Mark Lowry to one, put Douglas Martinez an outside back, but also get him to buy into the system.
Been some ebbs and flows to the season for Indy 11. 7 wins, 9 losses, 7 draws. And they have, oddly enough, this is so weird to see, is they have reverse splits this year. They have 2 victories at home all year long, 5 losses, and 6 draws. But on the road, they're 5-4-1. What gives?
It's really interesting because you ask any coach, whether it's in World Football or USL Championship, you want to pick up home points more times often than not if you can get a result here and there on the road.
Segbers looking, Trilk out. Salazar waiting for it, but it never came his way.
You'll be very happy to pick up points. USL has a very difficult schedule in league to pick up points in so many different environments, so many different adversities that come your way. But you just look at the last 5 for Indy 11, 1 win, 2 losses, and 2 ties. Other side for Miami FC, 3 wins, 1 loss, and 1 tie. Two teams that are trending in different directions. But also 2 points separate them from a playoff spot. On the outside looking in, this is a massive game for both of these clubs.
And again, they're going to see each other in 3 weeks. So the familiarity, being in the Eastern Conference is one thing, but the abrupt turnaround is huge. Because for all intents and purposes, this could be a 12-point swing for one squad. Rivas, juggling act to Salazar, back to Joaquin. Joaquin stuttering, firing, takes the shot, truck with one-hander away. Didn't get a lot on that, but a good look from Rivas.
And it's something that Louis Neal was mentioned to us as one of the keys for this Miami FC side, just having.
Ooh, looking for Salazar on the opposite end. Telfer came crashing down.
Just having someone play direct and play in behind this back line of Indy 11 and stretch the opposition. Joaquin Rivas, Michael Salazar need to be a bit more active in terms of their movement. Playing off the shoulder of Jerome and Chapman Page, pulling them out of position.
Here's Cabral. He has been a bright spot for Miami FC ever since he returned from injury. Didn't start with the squad. 12th appearance of the season, 8th start. Goal so far in just under 700 minutes. But he has really controlled the pace of play for Miami in the center of the park. This portion of the broadcast sponsored by your Volkswagen dealers of South Florida. Check out local offers at vwflorida.com today. Nice job by Zendejas to get it over to Christian Sorto. Holding ground in possession, not conceding anything. Here's Aiden Stanley now. Did it go out? It did go out. Telfer not happy with it. I don't want to read his lips, but Ricky, if you want to, go ahead.
He's just not happy. But I do think if you can break this initial pressure of Indy 11, there's going to be tons of gaps between lines for Miami FC to play in between. Nice little ball around the corner from Zendejas, and then Christian Sorto just beats his individual mark. And you have Michael Salazar and Joaquin Rivas need to be, again, a bit more active, just wanting the ball, one dropping in, pulling out a center back, and the other one providing that stretch in behind. It's been too much in front of Jerome and Chapman Page, and those players are such quality defenders. It's an easy day at the office just to step into that middle third and clog passing lanes.
Sebastian Guenzati scoring a couple of goals on Wednesday against Birmingham.
Jack, come in, Jack, come in. Jack, what are you?
4-0 rout. Solomon Asante had 3 helpers in that affair. Guenzati scoring in the 24th and 63rd minute. He's got 63 career goals now in USL Championship action. Martinez trying to turn the corner. He does. Not enough bend to that, though, and Zendejas off his line, able to cut it off. We'll see a counter here. Ooh, Christian just overstood and overstepped his play as Robledo cutting back to pick it off. It was a dangerous moment for Miami FC. Indy 11 had numbers in the break for Martinez. Dottie. Robledo up left to Budati. Velasquez. You guys player in the same area. Budati plays it in. That one headed out Emilio Fiemu. Indy 11, though, great early punch in the 29th minute.
Just very patient. When they go with a lot of pace and a lot of power and numbers as well. Budati's been very active on this near side. But the next step in his progression is just having a bit more quality and around that 18-yard box in terms of assist. 2 assists on the year. So many times he gets himself in a dangerous area right around that 18-yard box. You want someone to pick out a red jersey to provide.
Another one hopper into the box. Fiemme will get this thing out of harm's way. Indy 11 scoring 28 goals this year to match Miami FC, and you got Martinez down on the turf. Got a hydration break in the 30th minute with no score between Indy 11 and Miami FC. Got a moment in time. Make sure to remind you, Select, the official match ball supplier of the USL Championship and many elite leagues throughout Europe. Visit www.us.select-sport.com for the latest Select products, specials, and more. Select, the player's choice. If you're Lewis Neal right now, what are you telling the troops?
I think you just need to get on the ball a bit more patient. Exactly what we talked about, someone getting in behind. And what that does, that's going to ask questions of Chapman, Page, and Jerome, because they're going to drop. And as they drop, that's when the gaps open up and you can play between lines. I just think you need to be a bit more patient, get on the ball a bit more, and get confidence within the side. We talked about the differences between the first half against El Paso. Just so good, moving the ball very quick and decisive. Hasn't been the same here. It's all been one-way traffic for the visitors. And for Mark Lowry, just be a bit more cleaner, a bit more clinical when you get yourself in the final third, because there is a lot of success to be had for the visitors. Just haven't had the ability to test Zendejas enough.
Show you exactly what's been going on so far in the first 30 minutes. A near own goal. Adrian Zendejas with the left pinky toe keeping that one out.
Yeah, but it's all come off of Douglas Martinez just whipping the ball in a dangerous area. There's a shout for a PK. It would have been very harsh on my end from Aiden Stanley and Chapman Page. But again, you've seen whether it was on that far side with Aiden Quinn, is playing that back post ball, but for Cam Lilly, that's the second time he's gone low to that near post. And this has been probably the best opportunity for Miami FC. It's been Joaquin Rivas, Michael Salazar testing, but big time save from Trilk.
Nice stop with his right. Match still scoreless. Are you surprised by the start of this match from both teams?
I do think Miami FC would have gotten the ball just a tiny bit more.
Yeah.
It's been more defensively for the home side. And especially with the role that they're on, they want to be the one pushing the tempo, putting the opposition very difficult on their heels. It's been that man, Aiden Quinn, Douglas Martinez, really dictating tempo and pulling the strings for Indy 11.
Yeah, they've played, which feels like with a heightened sense of urgency, and maybe it's one of those things, hey, you played a few nights ago, if you can get an early goal and you can sit back and keep some gas in the tank, maybe. Hydration break over with in the 33rd minute. So that will certainly give us a couple more minutes of stoppage time in the first half. Ricky and I will have some news and notes, some first half highlights, some stats, all of that at the half. Got an interesting signing in USL Championship. There's Budati. Velasquez back to Aiden Quinn. Cam Lilly. Now over to Martinez. He's been active. Trying to play it back to himself, but Aiden Quinn able to sniff that thing out. Nice play by Ebolu.
on, Jack. Good, Jack. Good count, Jack. Keep coming, Jack.
See what that hydration break does for Miami FC. And see if they can flip the script in terms of possession so far in the first 45. 63% for Indy 11, and Salazar trying to get sneaky with that. Called for the foul.
He's a player that you need to get more involved if you're Miami FC, just to be that focal point. Whether it's playing into his feet, having runners off of him, whether it's underneath or in behind, but he's been very quiet 35 minutes in here today.
One guy that we will see tonight, Kyle Murphy. Kyle near 100%. He's been nursing a banged up ankle over the last two and a half weeks. He has played, he's in game shape, but just has not started, as Martinez delivering a shot to Aiden Stanley in the back of the head. No remorse.
Just an awkward coming together. There's Aiden Stanley, who has his eyes on the ball. So does Douglas Martinez. Comes in late to the backside. Aiden Stanley, I don't think there's any ill will there, to be fair.
Looked a lot more harmful in real time than we get in instant replay.
Jack, come on, Jack.
36th minute. Shots right now are even at 2-2. Good play by Segbers to get in front of that. Mark hasn't scored a goal this season, but he has created some chances. He's got 3 helpers on the year. His game has been elevated over the last month and a half. Leto, Lindley, Jerome, and now Martinez. '37th minute. Feels like Indy 11 has played a perfect road contest. They've really taken the air out of this match.
Exactly what you want. If you're Mark Lowry, just getting the ball, take the win out of the sails of a team that's can do no wrong at the moment and really dictate tempo and play the game on your terms, and that's exactly what Indy 11 has done here.
Velasquez all the way out to Martinez. Inside, ooh, one touch, Guinzotti.
There's a lot of things in this world happening right now, and consumers like myself want some level of control.
I am a solar development project manager, and I get to be on the forefront of the best technology to produce clean energy.
We've transitioned from 4.0 to natural gas, and we're moving responsibly towards solar, battery, and green hydrogen, and this will all ultimately bring savings to the customer.
I know that FPL is looking at other ways that down the line will reduce my bill. We can be less dependent on oil, and the future is bright.
Back here from FIU Stadium in South Florida tonight. First of 2 occasions between Miami FC and Indy 11. 39th minute with Ricky Lopez-Espin, David Gascon, and our entire award-winning crew. Been with you wire to wire this season, and it has been a roller coaster of a ride for Miami. I got to imagine most people didn't think they'd be in this kind of a position, given the fact that their start was so average. but the expectations that they'd be amongst the top 4 or 5 in the East.
Just tells you how quickly things can change in USL Championship. You take on a string of games, good performances, you collect points along the way.
This one played in the box, looking for Guenzati again, but that'll result in a goal kick.
6 goals on the year. Sebastian Guenzati makes his living just the ability to move off of center backs, playing off the shoulder when you have Douglas Martinez.
Christian Sordo doing a good job. Oh, unfortunate with his left. It goes right to Blake.
And again, David, you just see there's just one player in front of Christian Sordo. Not enough options on the attacking phase of the game for Miami FC. That's surprising coming off the heels of the performance against El Paso, how fluid it was.
Zani dumps it out to Budati. He's got 2, make it 3 inside the 18. Chipped back to Budati. Skipping around like a rock in a pond, but stays away.
Keep it! Keep it, Aiden! Keep it! Keep it! Kill him with the ball!
Sun getting a little covering now from the clouds, so no real major glare in the eyes of either keeper. Everybody else in the pitch for that matter as well. Martinez wants it back. Blake will keep it himself, pulls it. That shot looked like it was redirected on the way through.
Just so patient, moving the ball from left to right, and as this ball comes to the interior, Aiden Stanley drops off, then it's Gabriel Cabral that needs to be a bit tighter to Jack Blake. We've seen throughout his USL career the ability to pull up from distance. He hits it so well, right foot, left foot, no problem. Takes a nice little deflection of Ofemiu. Goes up for a dangerous set piece once again for the visitors.
Chapman Page and Aiden Stanley. Chapman Page and
Ref, there's gotta be a foul there.
Aiden Stanley,
All over it.
former teammates, and I don't know if they're gonna go out for drinks after this match. Chapman Page down the deck right now. He's gonna be okay.
Once again, David, you just see the idea. Everyone crashes near post. Chapman Page loops around. And betting on him to beat his individual mark at the far post. And now for Cam Lillian, expect this ball to be low and hard to that near post.
You're good. Give us some balance. You're good.
He's playing with a ton of fire tonight, has Chapman Page. Another line drive corner. Salazar's there, though.
Relax. Mishak's there. Mishak's there. Relax. Just get reorganized.
42nd minute. We did have a hydration break, so there'll be at least a couple minutes of stoppage time added. Paco Craig in front of that. Nice move by Velasquez inside the 18. Looking for a lead, takes a shot. That one claims out the crossbar. Man, that thing was close. And going down there. In a brief moment, Velasquez, that thing came ricocheting out.
Ability to make people miss. We'll talk about his balance, body control. The shoulders are always square to the ball. Sends Aiden Stanley, spins him like a top and just gets denied by the goalkeeper's best friend, the crossbar. That's what he gives you. You bring him in mid-season, the ability to beat players 1v1, to create something out of nothing, especially in tight pockets. Around that 18-yard back, Sebastian Velasquez nearly gets the opener for Indy 11.
It's a filthy move. That is a professional move there, Velasquez. Confident young man, and almost scored his first goal here tonight for either squad. Making his 14th start of the season. That's a bad pass. Chapman Page trying to redeem himself. Segbers, and that'll be a foul. Takes down Robledo. Robledo didn't sell it, but he did for good measure. Mark acknowledging what he did. to imagine at halftime, Louis Neal's going to have some choice words for his guys here tonight. They haven't played bad, but we have not seen the same type of intensity, at least in tops, in terms of possession and aggression that we've seen in the last 4 or 5 weeks. Always tough to duplicate, especially in a long season like this. Rivas.
Just no presence on the front line. Whether it is Michael Salazar or Joaquin Rivas, they're always outnumbered. No supporting cast, whether it is Gabriel Cabral or Bolo Akinyuri underneath. Ryan Telfer hasn't gotten involved in the attacking phase as much as you would like if you're Louis Neal. Just hasn't been clean enough in the final third for Miami FC at the moment.
Oh, Claudio Repetto is available. Kyle Murphy, obviously available. Both saw limited duty last week in that 4-0 victory over El Paso. Indy 11 can play with a draw tonight. They can secure 4 points in a week. They'll take that, especially against a team that's trying to catch them in the Eastern Conference standings. These conference matchups are huge. 2 minutes of stoppage time. Telfer asking for it. I don't know if Cabral saw him. Gabriel moving around, trying to squirt through, can't pull it off. Aiden Quinn gets this thing into harm's way. Segbers. Some good, quick pace to this conclusion of the first half. Blake here. Martinez trying to push forward. Martinez. He had a lane and take a shot. Elected not to do so. Blake, that was cut off by Cabral. Nice job. Ooh, getting fancy with Bolu, and Blake took him down. Keep an eye on the watch of Rubiel Vasquez, the lead official tonight. Zadi's inside the 18. Velasquez. Lindley, no. That should do it for the first half, and it is. Over and done with. That man almost scored his first goal for Indy 11 here tonight. A shot that went soundly off the crossbar. 45 minutes in the books. Match is scoreless, Ricky.
I think this game is begging for someone just to produce an individual brilliance, whether it's a shot from distance, a combination play. But Indy 11 defensively has been very good at just taking the spaces away where Miami FC have been so exquisite as of the last couple games. But for Louis Neal, how clean can you be in the attacking phase? It's going to be very interesting this next 45 minutes.
Shots are 4-2 in favor of Indy 11, and they also have the possession time 63% to 37. For the match is scoreless. 45 minutes in the books here from FIU Stadium. Miami FC, Indy 11, scoreless draw right now through 45.
Some people think Miami is just flamingos and palm trees.
And hell yes, we have badass sunsets.
But Miami's Little Havana,
Doral,
Little Haiti,
Hialeah,
Wynwood, Coconut Grove,
Kendall,
Calle Ocho, Sweetwater, Homestead,
cortaditos y coladas
empanadas y croquetas.
is so much more. This is the 305.
This is who we really are.
This is what we are all about.
I am Latino.
I'm a disruptor.
I am LGBTQ.
I am a villain.
I am a mother.
I am Haitian.
I am an actor.
I am an activist.
I am a king.
I am American Dream.
I am the future.
I am
AFC.
We're at the break right now. FPL halftime report presented by Macron. You see the score, scoreless. Miami FC and Indy 11, the first of two encounters on the year. 45 minutes in the books right now, but take a look back at what was USL Championship action. Louisville and Charleston, Ricky.
It was a very interesting match between Ben Bierman and Danny Cruz. A lot of jawing after the fact as well. Cameron Lancaster, what a fantastic goal this was. And then Charleston Battery really got involved when Ben Bierman went to his bench. Fidel Barajas was terrific, getting another assist. And Ikaza, terrific goal. There was a call at the end of this game that created a lot of controversy. Was it a foul? Was it not a foul? The referee elected to call a foul. But again, I was on the call. It was not a foul. I don't think so. But Ben Bierman, you see, was fantastic in terms of just dipping into his bench. And we see the switchbacks in FC Tulsa. Milo Yosef, fantastic individual play, opens up his hips and just calmly slots it. It hits off both posts. People don't expect it to go in when a striker is feeling himself. Terrific individual goal. Just blanks the hostile environment in Colorado Springs.
There's been some highlight reel goals there at Widener Field over the last couple of weeks. That goal was scored in the 42nd minute. But Colorado Springs returned fire to earn themselves a 1-1 draw in this affair.
And Fieldberg, just like you said, fantastic technique. Just notice as he leans away, that keeps it underneath the crossbar. Body over the ball. Great technique from Fieldberg. And then El Medcar gets early involved for Loudon, joining the attack from a deep lying position. That's so important for midfielders to stay with the play. Everyone gets caught on their heels, makes no mistake about the finish. But can Ryan Martin's boys hang on in San Diego? Very difficult time to play in. There's two headers. First is from Bodley, just beats the individual mark, and it's that man once again. Number 9, you saw him going to celebrate. Conway gets the goal in the 90th minute. Great ball in, just rises up, heads it back across where it came from. Textbook from Evan Conway.
Nice goal for Conway. 2-1 winners, San Diego over Loudoun United. We'll see if 3 points are captured by someone here tonight. Not a lot to write home about, though. 6 total shots, 4 for Indy 11, 2 for Miami. This match right now staying scoreless.
There's a lot of things in this world happening right now, and consumers like myself want some level of control.
I am a solar development project manager, and I get to be on the forefront of the best technology to produce clean energy.
We've transitioned from foreign oil to natural gas, and we're moving responsibly towards solar, battery, and green hydrogen, and this will all ultimately bring savings to the customer.
I know that FPL is looking at other ways that down the line will reduce my bill. We can be less dependent on oil, and the future is bright.
Indy 11 trying to win twice in a matter of days. Right now, they're scoreless with Miami FC. Nothing to do at the end of 45 minutes of play. When we come back, we'll get you some news and notes around USL Championship and also some first half highlights and some stats.
Are you ready? Ready for more of the game you love? Ready for more players and more teams? Ready for more stadiums, for more fans in more cities? This is a different league. The USL Super League. Built for the future of women's soccer. Bridging the journey from youth to pro, connected to the global game, and bringing it all closer to home. Are you ready?
We all have goals. But let's be honest. Most of us aren't going to be professional athletes. But if your goal is to finish your degree, we can help. Come to a university that puts your goals first. Bellevue University, your partner in finishing goals.
Sue here gives it a go, and Sue here from distance! How about this start for San Antonio FC? 5 minutes in, they're up 2 goals.
RGB, Davila trying to sneak one in and does! Oh my goodness, RGB, a fantastic goal!
It's a pleasant Saturday night wherever you may be. We're in South Florida right now with the red, white, and blue waving away. Saying hello to us, Ricky Lopez-Espin. I'm David Gascon, Miami FC and Indy 11. Scoreless right now at the end of 45 minutes of play. Ricky, dip into the news and notes around the league.
Welcome North Carolina FC back into USL Championship. They're doing extremely well in League One, but the news around USL, 13 years old, signs his first professional contract, making him the youngest professional athlete in American team sports. I don't know what you were doing at 13, but I definitely was not signing a professional contract. Just hats off to Sacramento, Mark Briggs, exactly what they're doing, dipping into the youth and providing opportunity for players in the Sacramento area.
Yeah, it's a fantastic story. USL Championship on ESPN2 with San Antonio and RGV. Coming up on August the 16th, as far as what's on tap tonight. We have New Mexico and San Antonio at 9 o'clock Eastern. Vegas, Loudoun United. San Diego, Memphis 901.
I think you look at San Diego and Memphis 901. That's going to be a very interesting one. We just looked at the highlights of San Diego, their comeback win against Loudoun United, and Saving Glass and Memphis 901 hit a little bit of a dip. As of late, have come into their own and getting results. And then Phoenix Rising, they need a rebound after losing against San Antonio, and the same with El Paso, losing 4-0 against Miami FC. But the one I think of the night is New Mexico, San Antonio.
You get the nightcap, excuse me, Phoenix and El Paso at 11 o'clock Eastern. Right now, Miami FC trying to get on the board. They need to increase their possession this one. We'll tell you how the first 45 went down. All that and then some on the other side.
No one was born a hero. It's an everyday journey. There are no shortcuts, no days off, no perfect scenarios. Things won't always go the way you expect. But overcoming challenges is part of the game too. Your time is now. When passion runs through you, become your own hero.
This broadcast is brought to you by FPL. Learn how FPL is investing in Florida's future at FPL.com/value. Tata 2 and Macron. Take a look at the first half numbers brought to you by Takes. Ricky, what do we have here? Because the shots, they don't tell you a whole lot. Just one on target that goes for Miami, but Indy had the more dangerous opportunities.
It's been all possession-based for Indy 11 and just through against the runner play for Miami FC. Well, it was Joaquin Rivas, but it makes a big-time save from Trilk. But I do think if you're Lewis Neal, just getting on the ball a bit more and be a bit more patient in picking and choosing your times when to break through lines. But for Mark Lowry, I think you couldn't play a better first half on the road, hostile environment, second game in a week. Really took the sting out of anything Miami FC was trying to do.
Take a look at some of the highlights in this first half, and there wasn't a lot, but there were some, including here in the 17th minute.
Again, just a brilliant ball in for Maiden Quinn, but take a look at the body position of Jack Blake. He opens up with his hips, and that allows Douglas Martinez to come around the corner. We talked about him as a striker playing on a wide area. He knows where to put the ball, when to do it, and how to put it in. How that ball does not end up across the goal line is beyond me, and that set pieces were massive. You have Aiden Quinn on that far side, whether it's Cam Lindley, no PK there. But against the runner play, exactly what I'm talking about. You get numbers involved for Miami FC, whether it is Joaquin Rivas, whether it is Michael Zalazar. Joaquin Rivas just sends Douglas Martinez packing his least preferred right foot, a big-time save from Trilk.
41st minute, and for Indy 11, they continue to move on. Blake from just outside the 18. That shot was partially deflected by Ofiemu. Goes over the crossbar with the 42nd minute. Keeper's best friend.
It's exactly where you want Sebastian Velasquez, just requiring so much attention, twisting and turning. You just see the lack of the backlip, how quickly he gets it out of his feet. And like you said, David, keeper's best friend, Zendejas has to go to that post after and kiss it.
Man, dangerous, dangerous, dangerous. Couple of changes on both sides. Florian Velo right there, coming in for Christian Sorto. Substitutions brought to you by Good Greek Moving and Storage, your superhero movers. Little surprised that Velo is in this early.
In terms of his fitness, yes, but also just looking at the game. The lack of relationship between that midfield and that front line, I think Velo is going to give you a bit more confidence, a bit more presence, getting on the ball and just getting possession, and that's exactly what Lewis Neal wants. So how quickly can he get in rhythm, and how quickly can he get confident is going to be the key in the second half.
Adrian Dees-Pay coming in for Indy 11. So he comes in. So one change for Mark Lowry, one for Lewis Neal. If you are Lewis Neal, what do you tell your guys in the locker room?
Just take your chances. You're gonna get on the ball a bit more. How clinical can you be in the attacking 18? 4 goals last time out. You should be confident. You should be in rhythm. So getting Gonzati in the spots that he wants to, and then get Sebastian Velasquez. You talked about him. We showed how quickly he can change things. I do think if you're Miami FC, you go at Dispe and you go at him early. Very rare for a center back to come in at halftime. You test him and see if he's up to the task.
What about from Mark Lowry? If you were him, what do you tell your guys for the Indy 11?
Exactly what I was talking about. You just get the relationship between Sebastian Guenzati, and Sebastian Velasquez. A bit more in terms of closer together combination. Just asking questions of Paco Craig and Ofiemu.
See if there is a role reversal here in the second half. Possession was so one-sided, almost 2/3 of it owned by Indy 11. A near own goal for Gabriel Cabral. Went off of him twice, maybe off of his hand. Below, trying to intercept this, should be a foul, could be a yellow card, and it looks like it will be. It's exactly the case, Budati, the guilty party. But ever there's a time for a good foul, Ricky, I think this is it.
Just emergency defending from Yunus Budati as the ball gets caught underneath him as he tries to recover. Maureen Velo just so opportunistic, gets a better body position and feels any sort of contact is going to go down. No, not what you want if you're in the 11. 2 minutes in, you're outside back on a yellow card.
Some good pressure here. This one just outside the 18. Be curious to see who actually takes this one. Cabral and Joaquin Rivas, both dangerous from this spot. Murphy not on the pitch. Repetto not there either yet. This will be the best look of the night for Miami FC. Craig, Bolu, Ofiemu, Salazar, all in the 18. See who takes this. It will be Cabral, hits the wall. Second shot, that one denied too.
It's always a difficult task from that distance as an in-swinger, because if you beat that wall, the ball is bending towards the goalkeeper as well. You need to hit it with extreme pace and precision. So many times you see a left footer step up because as he hits it in, it's bending away from the keeper. It makes life very difficult for Trill. But the wall does its job. It stays together and jumps in unison.
You're more inclined to go over the wall or under it?
Over.
Yeah, for sure.
I think it's so difficult from that distance to beat a keeper under. So many times when you're closer to the 18-yard box, that's when you like to go under.
Last time I asked you about taking shots, I had to go down the dark rabbit hole of YouTube, seeing your goals from from midfield against keepers throughout USL. So I have to at least pose the question, have you ever scored underneath the wall?
I have not.
No, okay. Fair enough.
I think those are so so rare. Nowadays you see players laying down underneath walls. I just think it's when you get closer, the technique to go up and over the wall underneath the crossbar with enough pace. It's such a delicate touch you need to have. And as walls jump, it's too quick for goalkeepers to come across. That's why you see players go underneath.
Segber's trying to weave his way through some traffic. He couldn't. Blake depossesses him. Velasquez, Ridley plays it through. Velasquez, who had a shot ring off the crossbar in the first half. Martinez, man from Uruguay. A couple goals so far this year. Intended pass was batted away by Telfer. Inside the 18. Malone doing a good job of defense. Quinn, some space. I don't know if he was taking a shot there or not. Didn't line up for it. Velasquez trying to say that he earned himself a corner kick. That is not the case. A little shocker there. Velasquez overpowered Aiden Quinn.
Just see the numbers that Indy 11 are trying to get around that 18-yard box, whether it is Aiden Quinn, Velasquez, and Lindley getting involved, Guenzati staying high and occupying Paco Craig. Bright start from Mark Lowry's boys.
Quinn on the corners, and Deos comes out of his net, and that thing goes rolling in. Dispe on the header. Miami FC, bad misfortune there, and it's 1-0 Indy 11.
We talked about set pieces, the quality that Indy 11 have at their disposal, whether it is Cam Lindley Aiden Quinn going back post after back post time and time again, but if you're Adrian Zendejas, you have to be better. You come off your line, you just completely misread the flight of this thing. Spade doesn't hit it as clean as he would like. When there's no goalkeeper, you don't need to hit it hard, you just need to get it on target. It's going to be a frustrating one to concede if you're Miami FC, and especially for Zendejas.
It almost looked like he got cut off by Paco Craig for a moment. We'll go back and look at that when we have time. But for D's Pay, it's his first goal of the season. An almost excuse me type of goal. But off the set piece, and it's 1-0 Indy 11.
And those are the ones that if you're Mark Lowry, look at the stat sheet, you bring him in the 45th minute,
Genius.
Scores in the 52nd. He's a genius for pushing all the right buttons. But now, what's the reaction look like for Miami FC? You go down right after halftime. You need to go after the game just a tiny bit more. Leave yourself a bit more vulnerable between lines. Commit more numbers in that final third. And for Indy 11, if you can get a second, it's going to put Miami in a very difficult situation.
Martinez, Blake. Match was scoreless, and Indy 11 did not score in the first half, the 19th time in 24 matches, but here in the second half, early marker. Again, these two teams with not a lot of separation in the Eastern Conference. Indy 11, as it stands, coming into tonight, 8th. Miami FC, one slot below them. See if we have a 6-point swing tonight, or if Miami FC can draw even. They have not been the better team from wire to wire in this contest. So if there was a reward to be had, it had to be given to Indy 11. They've earned it. Quinn with the assist, his second of the year. Goal occurring officially in the 51st minute. And it is 1-0 Indy 11. Indy so far this season, 6-0-1 when recording the first goal of a contest in USL Championship. This portion of the broadcast sponsored by Good Greek Moving and Storage, your superhero movers. Indy 11 had chances in the first half. One here in the second they've capitalized on. Miami FC made one change. Christian Sorto out, Florian Velo in. And now Miami on edge a little bit, trying to find an equalizer. Here's Stanley. Cabral. Rivas onside, in, Salazar, can't hit it the right way. Ball played around, nice play by Bolu. Ricochets off to Velo. I think it was just ping-ponging around. Rivas plays it inside, Trilk comes out off his line and disrupts that. Kind of gives me a feeling of what this was to open up the year for Miami FC. Don't you get that sense, Ricky?
Just lacking a bit of creativeness that we've come to expect as of late from Miami FC. The free-flowing, attacking football that Louis Neal's injected into the locker room. I just think it comes off the heels of just the spaces that Indy 11 are able to clog defensively. Numbers right in front of that back four, making Miami FC go around them, never through them. If you're Mark Lowry, you have to be very pleased with, yes, you're in the lead, but defensively, you've been spectacular.
Yeah, it has been a good night of ball for Indy. Oddly enough, this is on the heels of Miami's impressive performance last week against El Paso, where it looked like they were comfortable in every facet of the game.
I just think the spacing is a bit off for Miami FC between Bolu and Cabral. Too many times they're just too close to each other.
Velasquez, Cabral forced him off. Great play there by Cabral. That is a clean takeaway. Segbers fighting against Quinn. Has it, at least for the time being.
But as they get caught too close together, it just elects in the 11 to play one player between them and mark both of them and take them out of the game. But as you have about 15 yards between, that's going to open up, whether it is Kim Lilly, Nathan Quinn, and those gaps will open up. But you look at, there's just no one on the front line, no one occupying the center backs for Despay and Chapman Page.
Rivas out wide, played through, opposite way for Salazar. I don't know if he was expecting it. On the weekend, Michael Salazar, he was marked, but the ball found a gap.
And it's a fantastic ball in from Mark Segbers, just begging for Salazar to get any sort of touch on it. Douglas Martinez, we've talked about him being a striker, doing his defensive duties. He's not comfortable in around that 18-yard box with his back towards goal. Salazar gets on the interior. It's 1-1 Miami FC.
Cabral here on service. Trilk punches that away. Corner kick brought to you by your Volkswagen dealers of South Florida. First one of the night for Miami. Yeah, the opportunities have been far and few, and a little surprising that Salazar didn't at least attempt to redirect that in.
I think it's going back to something that Louis Neal mentioned to us. I asked him, who's one player that really stepped up since you've been the manager? And he said, Michael Salazar. We've had him play so many different positions, whether it's deeper, whether it's on the wide areas, but you put him as a number 9, he gives you a different look. On the back end of that, David, it also, he doesn't have the tendencies of a number 9 to be at the right spot at the right time, making those near post runs, making those central runs. And as he gets more comfortable in the role, that's going to come with time. And I thought that was a perfect example of the lack of having a true number 9 on the field. Because if there is, someone's crashing that center of the box, and it's 1-1.
So calls for Kyle Murphy, I would imagine, right?
I think we're going to see him sooner rather than later if you're Mark Lowry, or excuse me, Louis Neal.
Udati down, taking his time. Benjamin Mines making an appearance. Let's see who Ben comes in
he's
for.
Fucked. Just go at him. Tell Mikey he's fucked.
Ben in.
Tell Mikey to go
Ryan
at him.
Telfer out. Substitution brought to you by Good Greek Moving and Storage. Your superhero movers. I don't know if Telfer even knows. He is coming out. Now Ryan to get the news.
Mikey!
So Ben in, Ryan out. Second substitution of this match for Louis Neal, trying to ignite the offense. Mines has scored a goal this year. Kyle Murphy is the team's leading scorer with 5. Below, great intercept. Florian, trying to put that ball between the legs of Blake. And Florian's got to be careful here. He's raising his voice, and you saw the lead official, Rubio Vasquez, turn in good anger towards Velo. We'll go back to this sequence.
I think as he turns Cam Lindley here, that's a whole lot of the jersey that's grabbed from the center midfielder. Frustration. Florian Velo's been on the field 15 minutes. That's the second time he's got the better of his opposition and just gets pulled down.
I don't remember the last time I've seen an official turn towards a player with a call going in his favor like that, but Velo is hot. Stanley and Cabral are here on the ball. Let's see who takes this. And it'll be Cabral. Takes that one, hits it into the wall, and again, a couple efforts by Cabral, just not his best delivery. 0 for 3. Nice job, looked like a handball, and it is. Miami nearly escaped in that covered corner, and Rivas with a yellow card in the 62nd minute.
This pure frustration starting to creep in for Miami FC, not having the success at the moment, 62 minutes in.
Look like we'll have a couple of changes coming up for Indy 11. Looks like Solomon Asante is going to come at the next stoppage. 63rd minute. Rivas picking up a yellow card. Good steal there by Robledo. Robledo on a run here. Harrison, a little bit of real estate. Budati sprinting his way. That'll be a goal kick. Budati not happy with the call.
Give credit to Mark Segbers. Sloppy turnover, but does very well just to have the recovery run and to deny Yunus Budati a ball across that 18-yard box. Now it's a very interesting stuff for Mark Lauer. You take off Sebastian Velasquez, you bring in Solomon Asante, as well Robledo, and you bring in Dambrot, so center midfielder for an outside back. So what does this look like in terms of the shape to see this game out? Because Dambrot's an outside back, a left-footed player that likes to get up and down that flank. So where does he shift into the lineup for Mark Lowry?
Why the change here?
I think just to see this game out. Be very interesting if they go into a 3-back or a 5-back across the back line, or they just go into a 4-4-2 flat. You bring in Asante, and he's a game changer. Whether it's goals, whether it's assists, we talk about his career success in USL Championship. Having the luxury, if you're Mark Lowry, to bring him in the 65th minute on the road. Not many coaches can say they have that.
Pretty good bench to have. And now the idea of when Kyle Murphy will make his appearance tonight. Salazar, great chip. Rivas. Joaquin had to wait to get to that ball. Lost a little bit of velocity on it. Segbers, Cabral, Rivas asking for it near the 6. Played through. Salazar, top shelf. He will not miss. Oh, they're going to call him offside on the play.
I think it's either an offside call or a handball on Michael Salazar. So our center referee, Bill Vasquez, signal the ball did touch Michael Salazar's hand, but once again, it's a brilliant ball in from Gabriel Cabral. If either it's offsides because there's no handball in that replay. Very good, it is an offsides call. Because as this ball pops up, it hits off his right shoulder. Gabriel Cabral just has the ability just to whip the ball in. It has to be a handball because it's clearly not offside. He's underneath Joaquin Rivas.
That is interesting. I didn't see the handball, though. Wow. That's a tough pill to swallow.
As we are hearing, it is offsides, but on that second look at it, he's making a run from beneath Joaquin Rivas. And yes, the ball does bounce off and hits off maybe his elbow area.
Cam Lindley with a yellow card. And a rather loud second half compared to the first.
We talked about the tactical shift now for Indy 11. Yunus Budati comes to the right back. Dambrot plays at left back, and what that does, that pulls in Douglas Martinez right next to Sebastian Guenzati on the front line. I think 65 minutes in, Douglas Martinez was terrific as an outside back. Not very often you see a number 9 having the ability to be that versatile.
Turnover here, Salazar, misplay. It's been the night for Miami FC. Cannot happen. Watch out here, Martinez and Zendejas, and Zendejas caught no man's land. Minute. Dambrot. Blake Dambrot just came into the contest. Nice play by Velo to pick off that pass. Good anticipation of Yemu and Aiden Stanley. 69th minute. Miami FC having a goal wiped off the board. Mines flag was not up.
Pathfinder's only $199 a month during Weston Nissan's Drive for Less sales event. Drive the Pathfinder, only $199 a month, 33 in stock. Shop WestonNissan.com. Drive for less at Weston Nissan.
69th minute.
In the pocket. Stay in the pocket. Start again then.
Shots in favor of Indy 11. They were like that at the end of the first half, continuing here in the second half. They have the only goal. Shots are 7-3 in favor of Indy. Indy 11 also hit one crossbar. Possession favoring Indy 11, 60% to 40. Guenzati thought he was fouled. Not happy with the no call. Adrian Dizpe with the only goal. It's off a set piece, a corner kick. Martinez goes down.
No, we are getting, in fact, the word that it is a handball on Michael Salazar as this ball pops off. Yes, it's in a natural position, but it changes the angle of the ball, and I think that's what is getting called off.
It's a better look in slow-mo, but you're cheating a little bit. You're younger, you got better vision.
Get those contacts in, baby.
Kyle Murphy coming into the contest to replace Salazar. Substitution brought to you by Good Greek Moving and Storage, your superhero movers.
Didn't have the impact that he had last time out, Michael Salazar. But now, 20 minutes in for Kyle Murphy to make his impact felt. a hard runner, true number 9. We talked about his positioning. He's going to be a focal point for Miami FC to play off of. And he's just going to occupy Dispay and Chapman Page and trying to make their life very difficult the remainder of this game.
Quinn, good service. That one played in nicely, but it goes wide of the net. That's a good look, as you see Jack Blake, excuse me. Blake from Nottingham, England. Same spot as Callan Chapman Page. 2 Brits. Second half possession's been almost 50-50. It's 45% for Miami FC, 55 for Indy 11. Sante. Akinyoni not happy with the result.
I think you need to be a bit tighter if you're Aiden Stanley there to not let Asante just dance around a very tricky situation. As he does that, it puts Bolo Akinyoni in a very, once again, spot that he does not want to be in on a yellow card, going into a sliding challenge between him and Sebastian Guenzati.
Sante up here, looking for Budati, full head of steam. Trying to get around Paco Craig, he does. He flops down, no penalty gonna be called there. Maybe an Emmy. That's a great effort from Budati, but he was clearly looking for a penalty. Segbers, in the 74th minute. So we look at where the score is right now, 1-0 Indy 11. Adrian Dispay, the lone marker off of a header. Aiden Quinn with the assist. That's been it. Shots are 8-3 in favor of Indy 11. Trying to win for the 6th time on the road this season. And it'd be win number 8 on the year. Miami FC trying to keep their 3-game winning streak alive. Mines can't get through. And I don't know what was going on between Segbers and Ofiemu. Clearly not on the same page. Not even reading the same book there. This is about as frustrated of a team as I've seen with Miami this year, Ricky, especially over the last 2 months. There's that visible wear and tear from what's gone on through the first 74+ minutes.
I just think it hasn't been clean enough in the final third. It's been a bit better in the last 5 minutes for Louis Neal's boys, but just committing more numbers, but the spaces that they've picked up hasn't been the best in terms of just supporting their number 9. But it's Joaquin Rivas and Cal Murphy, Michael Salazar as well. We didn't see them combine at all when they're on the field. So hopefully that can change, but we'll take a look at this. No call of a pen. Yunus Budati does so well because he has Paco Craig beat for pace, but as he leans into him, he's just looking for the contact. And as he has that little reaction after it, there's just no call. Been very hard to point to the spot there.
Segbers with some finesse, no way.
That's exactly what I'm talking about, David. As Cal Murphy makes that darting run, he wants to pull out Chapman Page. If you mark Segbers, you have to look for the second run, which is Joaquin Rivas centrally. Gives you a better angle, and then you can play off of him. But as you try to force the ball into a window that's just not there, it gives Indy 11 the ability just to regain possession and play higher up the field.
Murphy in heavy pursuit, but that thing will go out of bounds, resulting in a goal kick. 76th minute here. And we got a hydration break. While we do have a moment in time, don't miss any of the action this year, whether your club is on the road or at home. Catch nearly every second of USL Championship action on ESPN Plus, the home to the USL, La Liga, Bundesliga, UFC, and much more. Sign up today at plus.espn.com. Adrian Dizpe, his goal off the corner kick as we look back at it again.
Just an uh-oh moment. First in Dejas, that's keeping 101. You come off your line, you have to be so decisive that you're going to make any sort of play on this ball. Traffic in front of you, yes. That's an easy walk in the park for a keeper of that quality. He's going to want this one back. Just completely misjudges the flight of the ball. And Dizpe, fortunate enough for him, doesn't hit it cleanly. Just gets it over the bar, and Callum Chapman-Page definitely like that.
A little trash talking. Gonna appreciate that. Yeah, on that second look too from Zendejas, didn't have his hand out, just a fist.
When you're always taught for a goalkeeper, never to swipe at it, always punch away from it. And as you swipe at it, it just closes down the angle and just don't have the percentage to hit the contact of the ball.
Unfortunate. For Adrian, that one goes past him. And for Indy 11, now they're trying to hold on. They have been the more aggressor team tonight. And a hydration break in the first half, and now one here in the second half. Again, after tonight, Miami SC will take on Hartford Athletic next week on the road, August the 19th. Indy 11 gets El Paso. Got just about 2 months left in the regular season, and it's still anyone's game. Martinez in the intercept. Segber's jamming on the brakes. Nice play by Mark. Change in possession. So Kyle Murphy in. Florian Velo also in. Telfer out. Christian Sorto out. Benjamin Mines also coming in. And Michael Salazar, his night is over with as well. It's been the starting 11 that Louis Neal has gone with in 3 consecutive weeks, so you continue to go with what got you here. But a new wrinkle, and they got at least figure out 12 minutes bare minimum of this contest left. There hasn't been relentless pressure from Miami FC in this game. Chances have just been so seldom. Stanley, Velo, Akinyote.
And in the 11 have every single player behind the ball inside their own defensive half, mid to low block. So how do you beat that? The ball needs to move very quick, you need to be very decisive as well. There needs to be a bit more movement, pulling players out of position, because you just look at players underneath Kyle Murphy, whether it is Cabral, whether it is Florian Velo, always taking up the same space, always wanting the ball to feet.
Cabral, nice little chip inside. Chapman-Page there to nullify Mines. Callum continues to chirp.
It just causes a little bit of chaos, a little bit of confusion if you have the willingness to run in behind. Yes, it doesn't go off there between Ben Mines, but he does so well to create a bit of a nervy moment between Dambrot and Chapman-Page, because then it's that, are you going to go, am I going to go? That little game of cat and mouse. But if everything's in front of the backline for Indy 11, makes life very easy, just stepping in, moving from left to right.
Another change on the way for Indy 11.
Pressure solo!
No chance for Murphy. And the idea was to get it to number 9, but that man right there, Aiden Stanley, a little too high. Got 2 players down for Indy 11.
Get up pressure, come on baby, come on!
Stefano Pino is coming in the 82nd minute. Martinez's night is over with.
I thought he was terrific. Working extremely hard both sides of the ball. Playing a number 9, playing as an outside back, and those 2 combinations you don't see very often. Just having the selflessness to put his head down and work wherever Mark Lowry tells him to. Those are the kind of players that you want on the team. Those are the kind of players that are going to help you once the playoffs come around the picture. But now as Pino is going to play underneath, excuse me, on top of Guanzati, he's just going to be a focal point to play off of. Very physical number 9. Typical back to goal. Wants to bring players in.
50-50 ball there, and Cabral got the worst end of that between him and Pino. The Brazilian, 6 foot tall and about 170 pounds. Open real estate, Akinyoti, Murphy, Mines. Mines plays this through way too soft in the approach. Never really had a chance.
It's just so much better in terms of the spacing between Bolu, Akinyoti, and Florian Velo, because Velo doesn't come and clog the space. And as he stays away, that pulls out one of the center midfielders for Indy 11, and that elects Bolu to advance himself. Those little instances, not always to come to feet, always had that spacing between lines, can really open up the defensive structure.
Jack Blake, the member of Indy 11 that's down right now on the deck, stretching a little bit and maybe trying to grab some time. That foul occurring from about 35 yards out. Blake's still not back to his feet.
But awkwardly, Jack Blake, sloppy first touch, gets away from him. Not what you want if you're Mark Lowry, a player that's had his injuries in the past. Quality never in question. When he gets on this field, this Indy 11 side is a completely different animal.
Another change coming up for Miami FC. Claudio Repetto's going to come in for Joaquin Rivas. Blake limping off the turf. Gabriel Cabral has had no success so far in these free kicks. 0 for 3 so far, and even getting the ball through the initial wall. This time Stanley will take it. Weak side looking for Mines. Below. Headed around, juggling Mines. Oh, he wanted to pull it. Could leave Miami FC vulnerable for an attack. Sante, he was onside. Ofiemu clearly beat there. One more change, it looks like, at least for Lewis Neal. So we're now into the 87th minute. Shots are 8-4 in favor of Indy. In through, Kyle Murphy, that one redirected through, and it's a good stop by Trilk. It's your true number 9.
It's better in his movement. Just slashing across Chapman Page. He's gonna take a great look at it. Just that little change of direction, little change of pace. A very difficult technique. To short up off the turf, to get enough contact on it. Has the right idea, Kyle Murphy, to put it into that near post, but even better save from Trilk.
Good stop by him. Then comes Claudio Repetto. Substitution brought to you by Superhero Movers, Good Greek Moving and Storage. Volleyed around, played back. Stanley twirling around. That's going to result in a goal kick. See Claudio Repetto there. 18th appearance of the season. 2 goals and 1 assist. Murphy leads the team with 5 goals. All Miami is looking for at this point is 1. Goals in 23 matches heading into tonight. 4 last week, but for the time being, the well has gone dry. And this is a misplay here. Watch out, a 2-on-1. Coming out Zendejas and a great game-saving stop. Asante looking for an open exchange. Pino again, that one goes rolling in. Unbelievable sequence for Adrian Zendejas, and Pino robbed on the first occurrence, but the second one, that is best service. Benjamin Mines here in the 89th minute. Miami FC fortunate enough to not be down 2 goals. That would have buried their hopes of at least getting a point. Budati. Well, Zendejas atoning for his mishap earlier that led to Dee's pay goal. Ball looked like it came out. Officials say no, it didn't. Huh. And now a lot of chasing for Miami FC. Indy just burning up some valuable seconds. Another great stretch pass here. Blake from well outside the mark. This one goes off of OVM. It's going to result in a corner kick. And another substitution for Indy.
Take a look at this little mishap from OVM, who just gets caught underneath him. But if you're Pino and Zendejas is that high, you have the advantage. You either go around him or you just sweat this ball to Asante. It's an easy goal, but give credit to Asante. Takes an unselfish route, puts it into the path of Pino. It just gets worse for the striker as he's falling, just loses his footing once again, straight into the hands of Zendejas. Miami FC get away with one.
Fortunate. 6 minutes of stoppage time. Pino with a golden opportunity to make it 2-0. So at least 6 minutes of stoppage time. Revenot coming in. Ben will come in for Jack Blake. Blake looks like he has no tread left on the tires.
I think that middle portion of the lineup for Indy 11 has worked so hard up and down, dictating tempo on the ball, doing their defensive duties. Jack Blake, Cam Lindley, Aiden Quinn. Hats off to those boys because they've put in like an extremely massive shift, especially after playing just days ago against Birmingham Legion.
Yeah, this is impressive. Short rest, playing in the hot and humid area of Miami. South Florida, never comfortable. As some are learning, it's hurricane season, so the weather's unpleasant at times.
Jonas! Fucking easy! Solo! Solo! Inside, Solo! Here's marking! Come on, Steph! Come on, Steph! Cam Solo should be doing that! Slide, Aiden! Aiden!
Stanley trying to turn the corner.
It's already fucking out!
It'll be a corner kick for Miami FC. Brought to you by your Volkswagen dealers of South Florida. Cabral will take it. Let's see who takes initiative inside the 18 for Miami FC. And before that occurs, and contact near the 6 as Murphy went down. Looked like the whistle came before the service.
Aiden, the ball!
And Murphy looks like he's playing bumper cars at the moment. Cabral again. Mines. Watch out here. That shot goes over the net by Repetto. Oh, he won't get a cleaner look tonight than that.
A lot harder than it looks as you're going away from goal. The key is to get your hips and your shoulders facing the goal you're trying to shoot at. And have the technique and the patience to let this ball come down enough. Yes, there's traffic coming. Just a bit too eager from Claudio Repetto. And as he takes it early, that's why you see go up and over the bar. But a player with the quality, the technical sound that he has, he should be getting this on target.
Nice shot by Repetto, but as you had mentioned, Ricky, just going over the net. Don't know if another opportunity will present itself here in the final moments of this contest.
Sit down, please. Sit down. Sit down.
And those are the ones as well that you just don't need to hit it too hard.
Yeah.
Don't need to take a full swing at it. You just need to get clean contact and use the momentum to your favor. So many times when players elect to go for power, that sends your head back and that sends your shoulders back, and that's why it goes higher.
Coming up at the conclusion of this contest, we'll have our Tata2 man of the match. Some full-time stats and also some highlights. And a final goodbye on a Saturday night. August the 12th, midway through this month, hard to believe, but playoffs are right around the corner. Miami trying to be there, Indy 11 trying to hold them down for at least the time being.
Ben, you're good, Ben. You're good, Ben. Stay. You're good. You can do both from there. Right.
Dan Brott on the throw-in. That was certainly poorly executed. Bino was waiting for it to come in bounds, and now Miami's going to have to hurry. Got to imagine with the activity during stoppage time, there'll be maybe 6.5 total minutes. Could be closer to 7.
Solo inside. Solo inside. Stop.
Mines goes down, taken away.
Come together. Pino, come on. Come on, Pino.
Cabral. Nice job of settling it. Stanley, though, he's going to be in a tough spot. Pass from Cabral just had a little bit too much weight on it. Now it's a matter of how much left. Cabral. Pino with a chance to clear it. He does. We've reached full time. That was a clinical 90 minutes of action from Indy 11. Going on the road here tonight in South Florida, and they pick up a monster 6 points in the matter of days, winning just a couple nights ago by a 4-0 advantage over Birmingham, and then tonight they upend Miami 1-0.
Just so poised, so collective, and so composed from front to back for Indy 11. A very difficult task to come into South Florida against a red-hot Miami FC, and you talked about them 4-0 against Birmingham Legion. Not the prettiest of performance in terms of their football and fluidity that we've seen, but they're definitely most effective, and it starts with the defensive side. To come in here to get a clean sheet, Mark Lowry has to be extremely pleased with his boys and their performance.
See the expression from Agent D's pay. That look alone tells you, excuse me, goal, but he'll take it as first of the season, and it ends up as a game-winning goal.
I do think if you're Lewis Neal, the second half was a bit better just in terms of getting numbers in that final third. I think you have to get, in terms better, the spacing of that middle three. Akinyoti, Cabral, and Ryan Telford, but it was better when Velo came in. But you have to find that balance of when to get too tight, but also when to stay connected. Because too many times when you just want the ball to feet, it's so easy to mark. If you stay away from the ball, you have an outlet to go out the other way, and it puts a lot of pressure on opposing defensive structures. And I think that got better as Miami FC, but that's something that if you get that right, it's going to be a nightmare to come and play against this attacking unit that Lewis Neal is building here in Miami.
Indy 11 now 8-9-7 on the season, good for 31 points. Miami falls to 6-10-8, our top two man of the match is that man right there, Michael Salazar.
He was working extremely hard, making those runs. That's something that Lewis Neal was quick to point out on our phone call, that he just gives us a different look. Very powerful, very pacey, and has the ability to pop in the hole as well. Gets his goal, but it gets pulled back due to handball. Michael Salazar, well-deserved man of the match.
It's unfortunate for him and his teammates, but they fall. Their 3-game winning streak is snapped at home. So Indy 11 had one shot. That was a big one from Agent D's paint. Right on the back of that. They win it here on the road over Miami 1-0.
Some people think Miami is just flamingos and palm trees.
And hell yes, we have badass sunsets.
But Miami's Little Havana,
Doral,
Little Haiti,
Hialeah,
Wynwood, Coconut Grove,
Kendall,
Calle Ocho,
Sweetwater,
Homestead,
cortaditos y coladas
empanadas y croquetas.
is so much more. This is the 305.
This is who we really are. This is what we are all about.
I am Latino.
I'm a disruptor.
I am LGBTQ.
I am a villain.
I am a mother.
I am Haitian.
I am an actor.
I am an activist.
I am a king.
I am American dream.
I am the future.
I am.
I am
Miami FC.
No one was born a hero. It's an everyday journey. There are no shortcuts, no days off, no perfect scenarios. Things won't always go the way you expect. But overcoming challenges is part of the game too. Your time is now. When passion runs through you, become your own hero.
There's a lot of things in this world happening right now, and consumers like myself want some level of control.
I am a solar development project manager, and I get to be on the forefront of the best technology to produce clean energy.
We've transitioned from 4.0 to natural gas, and we're moving responsibly towards solar, battery, and green hydrogen, and this will all ultimately bring savings to the customer.
I know that FPL is looking at other ways that down the line will reduce my bill. We can be less dependent on oil, and the future is bright.
It's a wrap here from South Florida, Indy 11 and Miami FC. Ricky, full-time highlights.
Just wasn't the best day attacking-wise for Miami FC, but definitely through that middle three for Indy 11. Douglas Martinez, whether it's playing wide, whether it's playing centrally, just putting the ball in a dangerous area. Cabral does just enough to keep it from going over the line. Probably the best attacking option that we saw for Miami FC. Joaquin Rivas create something out of nothing. Big time save for Trilog, and Sebastian Velasquez making every single player miss, twisting and turning, and just gets denied by Zendeja's best friend. I think coming out of the break it was going to be interesting. What was going to give needs to be better clinically, and that's a big uh-oh moment for Zendejas. Just gets off his line. You see Chapman Page loves it. The ex-Miami FC players just misguides the flight of the ball completely. And Mark Lowry pressing all the right buttons. He brings him in. 6 minutes later, Despay gets on the score sheet.
65th minute, Gabriel Cabral thought he set something up, an equalizer.
Good ball in. Michael Salazar just gets himself in behind the shoulder of Despay. And as it hits off his hand, he gets called off. Not for offside, but the handball clear and cut. Good call from the referee. And at the end of this thing, you thought Miami FC knew just enough to get on the end. Point of a low ball in. Al Murphy does everything right. He hits it very well, to be fair. Gets on the better body position of Chapman Page, but big time save from Trilog.
Corner kick here, and Claudio Repetto, as you mentioned, need the shoulders, the hips turned towards the net. Sails over. End result 1-0 road team.
I do think if you're Indy 11, the game plan that you came into South Florida, the second game in a week, you executed it and to perfection. Very compact defensively, very clinical in the attacking phase, and all comes down to possession based. You want to pull out your opposition, and you have to be quick to penetrate. For Miami FC, back to the drawing board. We're on a hot streak, but what's the reaction look like now for Lewis Neal, because you have a massive game coming up on the weekend?
Indy 11 improves to 8-9-7, 31 points. Miami FC falls to 6-10-8. They're on the road next week against Hartford Athletics. So that's going to do it here from FIU Stadium in South Florida. Indy 11 gets a goal from Adrian Despay, and they win it by a final score of 1-0. For my broadcast partner, Ricky Lopez-Espin, I'm David Gascon. Hope you enjoyed this one. We'll catch you again next weekend when Miami takes on Hartford. Have a good weekend, everyone. So long.
This copyrighted telecast of the United Soccer League Championship cannot be retransmitted, rebroadcast, or reproduced without the expressed written consent of the United Soccer League Championship.